English Tagalog Translation. Learn common questions every day asked. What? Ano? Ano ang pangalan mo? What is your name? What is your favorite food? Ano ang paborito mong pagkain? What made you happy? Ano ang nakapagpapasaya sa iyo? What is the meaning of this? Ano ang ibig sabihin nito? What did you give to her? Ano ang ibinigay mo sa kanya? What are you doing? Ano ang ginagawa mo? What did you say? Ano ang sinabi mo? Is that what you want? Iyan ba ang gusto mo? What is on the table? Ano ang nasa mesa? What is the difference between the two? Ano ang pagkakaiba sa dalawa? What is in your mind? Ano ang nasa isip mo? What should I do? Ano ang gagawin ko? What is your hobby? Ano ang iyong libangan? What will I say? Ano ang sasabihin ko? What are you doing here? Ano ang ginagawa mo dito? What is your decision? Ano ang desisyon mo? What is the question all about? Tungkol saan ang tanong? What is your nickname? Ano ang iyong palayaw? What is your surname? Ano ang iyong apelyido? What is the matter with you? Ano ang problema mo? What did you learn? Ano ang natutunan mo? What is the importance of this? Ano ang kahalagahan nito? Please click subscribe to get more English Tagalog translation.
What is your name? Unsa imong ngalan? Unsa imong ngalan? The word what in Bisaya dialect means unsa. You means nimo. Name means pangalan. Example, hello, what is your name? In Bisaya dialect, hello, unsa imong pangalan? The word hello has no other interpretation in Bisaya dialect. That is why we still using hello. How are you? Means kumusta or kumusta ka. Kumusta ka when you are referring to one person, but when you are referring to or more person, you said kumusta mo. How are they? Kumusta sila? Example, Jeffrey, how are you? Jeffrey, kumusta ka? Jeffrey, Crystal, kumusta mo? Help means tabang. Example, Jessa, please help me. In Bisaya dialect, Jessa, tabangi ko, palihog. Please means palihog. Where do you live? Taga-asa ka or asa ka nagpuyo? Example, hi Jenny, where do you live? Hi Jenny, asa ka magpuyo? What is your job? Unsay imong trabaho? Example, what means unsa, you means imo, then job means trabaho. The word nang there is a buffer of a word to make the sentence nice to hear. Example, Auntie Liza, what is your job? Auntie Liza, unsa imong trabaho? How old are you? Means pila na imong edad. How means pila, old means edad. Example, hi Jane, how old are you now? Hi Jane, pila na imong edad karon? Do you speak English? Kabalo ka mastorya og English? Do you means kabalo ka? Speak means storya. English in Bisaya dialect sa English. How much is this? Pigpila ni. How much means tagpila. Is this means ni or you're pointing an object. Example, how much is the apple? Tagpila ning apple. I am single. Wala ko'y uyap. Example, Jenna is single. Si Jenna kay walay uyap. I love you means gihigugmati ka. Example, I love you Jason in Bisaya dialect, gihigugmati ka Jason. I missed you. Gimingaw ko nimo. Example, I miss you dad. Gimingaw ko nimo pa. But some others using that. You are very beautiful. Guwapa kaayo ka. Example, the baby is so beautiful. Kagwapa ning bataa. Take care means amping. Thank you means salamat. Please means palihog. You're welcome means walay sapayan. See you later means kita lang taon niya. I trust you means na ako'y salit nimo.
Hi everyone, Judy here. Welcome to my channel. So today I'll be talking about, I'll be sharing about basic conversation for first time acquaintance. Okay, if you met a new friend or a stranger and you want to break that ice, the barrier between you and that newly found friend. This is also very the sentences that I'm going to share with you are very common and are, I would say, very useful as well. At least you'll be able to connect at the very early stage of getting to know the other person. Okay, now this was requested by one of my subscribers, and I apologize, I forgot the name. I forgot to write the name, but it was requested. So there will be this will be a mini series to expect in the upcoming weeks that I'll be sharing basic conversation. Okay, so in this video, I'll be discussing the sentences first, and at the end, I will share an audio conversation, and hopefully you'll be able to understand the whole conversation which I recorded myself. Okay, now let's start. Hi, hello. Hi or hello. Ako si, you state your name. For example, ako si Judy. Ikaw, unsa imong pangalan? Or the shortcut of saying this is unsay ngalan nimo. Unsay ngalan nimo, or you wanna do the long way, unsa imong pangalan. Okay, so it's basically hi or hello, I am Judy, how about you, what's your name? And then ako, you can answer this by saying ako si, you state your name. This is I am, for example, Judy. I am Judy. Ako si Judy. Mm. Taga-asa ka or taga-asa di ay ka. When you say taga, the person is actually asking for the location where you are from. So, taga-asa ka or taga-asa di ay ka. You may add the I to make the phrase or sentence more on the softer side, or you may sound, at least you sound more polite. Okay? It's like, where are you from? Taga-asa ka or taga-asa di ay ka. Where are you from? Taga Cebu. So, if you are from Mars, you can say taga Mars. If you're from the US, taga US, taga Canada, taga Los Angeles, you just say taga and then you state the location. I'm from Cebu. Taga Cebu. I'm from Cebu. Next, asa sa Cebu. Where in Cebu? Asa is where, okay? Sa, if you are very new to my channel, sa is like in, on, at, the, from, for, in the English language, okay? So, asa sa Cebu, where in Cebu? And then, to answer that, you say sa, and then you put the location. Sa Cebu City. Sa, you just state which city you're from or which specific place you are from. So you just start with sa and then state the location. It's like in English, this is in Cebu City. Okay, that's it. So I just want to let you know, guys, that even if you just met a new friend here in the Philippines, just take note that we are open people, and it is very common for us to ask questions like this: where you're from, where exactly you are from. So they this may you this may be rude to some, but actually this is just um the usual conversation. We don't really mean to be rude in asking this personal information, because as by nature we Filipinos are very open and um, are interested to know more about you. So don't be scared if we ask these personal questions, because we are also very open to tell you the we are also open to tell you this kind of information. Like majority of us, like 98% of us. So if you think you're not comfortable, you may just say, next question, please. Okay, so that will give a hint to the other person that you're not comfortable to share this information.
That, you know, even the pupil of the eye that seems to be so dark, mine has already like turned white because of all the time that I have waited for you. Like it has taken eternity to wait for you. So it's just a figure of speech, meaning to say, oh, you took forever, and thus, I'm using this expression to tell you how long I have waited. So, niputi na ang akong kalimutaw, which is basically an impossibility. Then, let's say, dako og tiyan. Dako is big, tiyan is belly, big belly. Nipis og sampot. Some people would always find fault in others. And as far as Asians are concerned, we don't have this very pronounced, backside. So you could say nipis. Nipis is thin. So we have really like a thin backside, or meaning to say we really just don't have that very pronounced, butt area. And we probably need to exercise more in order to change that. And then this too, so when I say nipis og sampot and then sapyut og lubot, so this two can be interchanged. So the meaning is similar. Sapyut og lubot. Lubot is again the backside or the rear area, or the buttocks, the bottom. Sapyut, sometimes it's more on the posture of a person, because some people, even if they have like, yeah, they have a nicely shaped butt area, and yet the way they stand up is that they really don't hold their body you know tall enough. So it kind of shows that you know posture, wherein the backside looks a little thinner than it actually is. So that's the difference. So nipis og sampot, it's more on the actual composition. Like you just don't have enough muscles there. But when you say sapyot og lubot, it could be like either both, like you don't have the composition there, plus it's possible that you have the composition there, that you have, enough butt muscles, but yet, you don't have the correct posture to be able to carry yourself, tall and have that area, more pronounced. Lamurok og aping. So aping is the cheek. Lamorok meaning it's chubby, chubby. Like if you have like a little baby and they have just this like really chubby cheeks, then you can say lamorok og aping. Guapa og naong. So when you say naong, face, guapa is beautiful. So guapa og naong, that's just a beautiful face. You can just simply say guapa, in general term, guapa. The beauty is emphasized to refer to the facial structure. And then taas og ilong. Taas is like you have like a nicely shaped, well pronounced nose. That's what it is. Then baga nga buhok. So if you're talking about the hair is buhok. Baga nga buhok is thick hair. Then hamis ug kutis. So I have mentioned that earlier. Hamis is smooth. Kutis is the complexion. So when you say hamis ug kutis, that means the skin, the complexion, the texture is like it's very smooth, very youthful. Baslay nga buhok. Well, a few people probably don't know this, even those who live in around the area. But I know this for sure because back then in the days I could easily just like move my hair, and then like my hair would just fall down to the sides. So when the hair has enough body, you can call it baslay nga buhok. So a hair that is voluminous enough that it has enough body, it just falls to the side, especially if you have straight hair like most Asians. And then lapad ug batang. So lapad is wide, batang is hip. So this could be in a way related to the how do you call that one? For a woman, that means you have better chances of having easy birthing. If you ever get pregnant, um, they say it's easier for you to give birth if you already have the advantage of wide hips. Dangas ug agtang. Now this one is another. Sometimes it could be used um, as a form of a derogatory remark. So it's describing the so-called hair is vanishing syndrome. That, your forehead, you have so much forehead already. So if somebody says to you, dangas og agtang or dangas og buna, agtang or buna is the forehead, and dangas meaning it's just wide. It's just extra wide. It's just extra pronounced. So the first thing that you look at, the first thing that you see is the wide forehead. That is what is meant by dangas og agtang. Balbon is just short for balhiboon, or balhibo is hair, balhiboon is hairy, so balbon means a hairy person. Humok og ilong. Now humok is soft. Now who doesn't have like a hard, I mean, who doesn't have like a soft, nose? I mean, your nose has a cartilage, and it's soft on some portion of your nose. It's mostly soft, in fact. But this expression, humok og ilong, is a figurative phrase which means um, a person who has no conviction, a person who has no principle, a person who can be easily swayed, a person who can be easily influenced. That's what is meant by humok og ilong. So it's like um, if you tell one of your friends that, oh, we have to we have to do this, but then the person would say, oh no, I'm not gonna do that. But then you ask two more times, and then the person would say, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that. And you know for a fact that, it might not be the right decision to say yes. But because you are not principled enough to stick to your guns, then somebody could just say to you, oh, humok ka og ilong, meaning to say you are not principled. So it is, in a way, it is derogatory. And then this one, I have mentioned this in passing earlier. Why kasing-kasing? So, no heart. Kasing-kasing is heart, meaning you're heartless, you're ruthless, you don't feel for anyone else, you cannot empathize with other people's pain. So that's what it means. Why kasing-kasing? Another figurative, phrase. Taas ug suwang. Taas is long, suwang is the chin. So if you are cold or somebody tells you taas ug suwang, that means you have a very pronounced, chin. Puti og ngipon. Um, I think this is redundant because your teeth is, normally or naturally white. But then, if you go to third world countries, that would not always be the case. So yeah, when you say puti, that means white. Ngipon is the teeth. puti og ngipon. So when you have pearly whites, that means puti og. So I guess we have covered most of everything that you need to know about the human anatomy and even extra phrases. And I just want to add a few more words for you that might help you, you know. So it helps to know this parts. Uh, do you have a brain? Naakay utok? Yeah, of course, we all do. Well, brain is utok. Kalimutaw is the iris or the pupil of the eye. And then teeth is ngipon. Heart is kasing-kasing. Lungs, that's called baga. Baga. Now there's a difference when, there's another word. It's called baga. Baga means thick. But when you say lungs, it's called baga. Liver, that's atay. Bladder, pantog. Cervix, that's called matres. And then, in addition, these are also a few more terms that you could probably, add to your vocabulary. So learn these terms. Cough, ubo, fever, hilanat, headache, sakit sa ulo, runny nose, that's sipon or gisipon, muscle aches, trangkaso, sweat, singot, blood, dugo, phlegm, plema. If you pass out or you faint, then, or you fainted, then you could say nakuyapan. Um, so I think we have covered pretty much everything, right? There's one more thing, difficulty in breathing. So when you breathe, that's ginhawa, and the difficulty is described as lisod. So lisod o ginhawa, you can just say, oh, naglisod ko og ginhawa, meaning to say you have a difficulty in breathing. And I think that's pretty much it. If there's anything else that I missed, well, I've tried so hard to be comprehensive with this tutorial, and I'm really hoping that most of you learned so much out of this lesson 8 that we had today. So I really appreciate all of you. I want to thank everyone, for subscribing to this channel. Before we go, as usual, I have this extra phrase that we would translate and then somehow, get to the bottom of the context or the message that is being conveyed by the phrase. So don't worry, we will do a literal translation, then the complete translation, and then a better alternate translation. So let me just read this to you. Naglibog ko kung nganong di ka kasabot nako ug sa akong gihangyo kanimo. Basin wa lang yun kay utok o wa kay kasing-kasing. Pero pasabta kuno kubi kung nganong imong gipanabi sa uban nga humok ko og ilong. So we tried to use some of the phrases that I taught you earlier, but then I would, explain them again to you so that you can have a better understanding of, how Cebuano and Visayan is being constructed to make sense. So naglibog, the root word is libog, which is confuse. Um, ko, that's ako, I. Kung nganong. Kung nganong, when translated, that means as to why. You know, di, di is short for dili, which is no or not. Di ka, ka is short for ikaw, which is you. Kasabot, again, sabot is understand. Nako, nako is me. Og means and. Sa akong gihangyo. Hangyo is request. Gihangyo, something that I requested. And when you say ako, so that's my request. I have requested something. Kanimo, that's you, for you. Basin, basin is maybe or perhaps. Wa is short for wala. So, wa lang gyud. There's emphasis gyud. So, wa, so not. Lang is just. Gyud, really. So, it might be that you just don't really wala gyud kay utok. Wa kay utok. You have no brains. Lang gyud, just. Really, it's just that you don't have brains. O, wa kay kasing-kasing. Or, wa, you don't have. Ka, ka-I, that's ka-you. Kasing-kasing, that's heart. So, or, you don't have a heart. Pero means but. Pasabta. So the root word is sabot. When you say pasabta, it's something that needed to be done. So it's in the future. Pasabta, that means make me understand. Kuno, like, somehow. Ko, ako, I. Bi. Bi is short for ambi. Ambi, like give it to me. Kung nganong, as to why. Imo nga. So imong is imo nga. Gipanabi, tabi is to say or talk. So when you say gipanabi, somebody rumored or gossiped. Where? Sa uban nga humuko og ilong. Uban is others. So that means other people. And then here comes the figurative phrase, humuko og ilong, meaning to say, I have no conviction. So study the phrase, and here I have the translation. I am confused just why you can't understand me and with what I requested from you. Perhaps you don't have a brain or you don't have a heart. But let me understand just why you were gossiping to others, that I am easily swayed. So this translation is the closest literal translation to the phrase above. Now, if I am like a speaker of the language, the Cebuano language, I can even like improve the translation so that, what I was trying to convey is expressly detailed in the alternate translation. So the first one again is a complete, close literal translation, but The second translation is an improvised translation that will more easily convey the message that I wanted to say. So this expression in Cebuano, or the phrase that I have above here, now if I um would like to mean, the whole context of what I want to channel through the message, this would be the translation that would aptly describe what I have written on top. I am utterly troubled why you couldn't possibly understand me and consider what I ask of you. Either you're so stupid, so that part where it says, basin wala lang yun kay utok, so you have no brains, meaning you're stupid, or wa kay kasing-kasing, you have no heart, so I'm writing here, so insensitive that you really can't empathize with me. So this insensitive that you're
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Flora Mars Tutorial, and if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below if there is any suggestion or recommendation about this video. For today's video, I will share to you some basic counting numbers, English to Bisaya translation. But actually, some of these translations are not native Bisaya. Some of the words came from Spanish languages. As you can remember, we are colonized by the Spaniards for 333 years. So that is why we are influenced by the Spanish language. There are a lot of words or phrases are still using in everyday living, specifically counting numbers, calendars, and etc. Cebuano to English translation. Uno or usa means one, dos or duha means two, tres or tulo means three, cuatro or apat means four, cinco or lima means five, sais or uno means six, seven or pito means seven, otso or walo means eight, nueve or siyam means nine, ches or pulo means 10. Once means 11, doce means 12, trece means 13, catorce means 14, quince means 15, dieciséis means 16, diecisiete means 17, dieciocho means 18, diecinueve means 19, veinte means 20, veintiuno means 21, 22 means 22, 23 means 23, 24 means 24, 25 means 25, 26 means 26, 27 means 27, 28 means 28, 29 means 29, 30 means 30. Treinta-uno means 31, 32 means 32, 33 means 33, 34 means 34, 35, 35, 36, 36, 37, 37, 38, 38, 39, 39, 40, 40. 41, 41, 42, 42, 43, 43, 44, 44, 45, 45, 46, 46, 47, 47, 48, 48, 49, 49, 50, 50. 51, 51, 52, 52, 53, 53, 54, 54, 55, 55, 56, 56, 57, 57, 58, 58, 59, 59, 60, 61, 61, 62, 62, 63, 63, 64, 64, 65, 65, 66, 66, 67, 67, 68, 68, 69, 69, 70, 71, 71, 72, 72, 73, 73, 74, 74, 75, 75, 76, 76, 77, 77, 78, 78, 79, 79, 80, 80. 81, 81, 82, 82, 83, 83, 84, 84, 85, 85, 86, 86, 87, 87, 88, 88, 89, 89, 90, 90. 91, 91, 92, 92, 93, 93, 94, 94, 95, 95, 96, 96, 97, 97, 98, 98, 99, 99, 100, or sa karatus, 100.
First, we have yes, oo, and then for no, we have dili. And sometimes no is also expressed as ayaw. Now, for some, this may be a little confusing, but after this lesson, you will be able to gain clarity on the difference in the usage of these two words that expresses a negative thought. So let's proceed to the examples that So let's continue with more examples. And here we have the question, Mubiya ka ba o dili? Biya is to leave. So mubiya, going to leave. The question then translates to, are you going to leave or not? And then you answer, Oo, mubiya ako. Yes, I am going to leave. Or you can also express it as, yes, I am leaving. Dili ko mubiya. Or you can also say, Dili ako mubiya. Remember, the ko here is just a shortened form of ako. And then that translates to, no, I'm not leaving. No, I am not going to leave. Nakasabot ka ba o wala? Sabot is understand. Nakasabot, um, did you understand? So this one, nakasabot ka ba? Do you understand? O wala or not? Oo, nakasabot ko. Yes, I understand. Um, please take note that when you say oo, some people tend to just say o to signify yes. So it actually depends on who's saying it. But in most cases, whether you say oo or o, it's yes. Wala ako kasabot? No, I don't understand. Continue. Let's have more examples. Take into consideration the question, is this your glass or not? Expressed in Cebuano, it would be, Imo ba kining baso o dili? Imo is a possessive pronoun that signifies yours. Kini is another pronoun which signifies this. Kining is just a shortened form for kininga. And then baso is the drinking glass. So this one, imo ba kining baso o dili? Is this your glass or not? And then you answer, oo, ako kanang baso. Kana is a pronoun that says that. Kanang is also a shortened form of two words, kana nga. So this translates to, yes, that is my glass. Dili kana akong baso. That is not my glass. No, that is not my glass. Musugot ka ba? Do you agree? Sugot is to agree. Oo, musugot ako. Yes, I agree. Dili ako musugot. No, I don't agree. Now, if you notice in this phrase, there is no o dili in the end. Musugot ka ba? But then, if I say musugot ka ba o dili, or if I say musugot ka ba, actually there is no difference. What happens is, for most of these questions, the dili part is usually not included, but it doesn't mean that it is not considered. So it's just for the sake of speaking the language with the shortened form of expressing it. So even if I just say musugot ka ba, that already expresses the thought that yeah, there after that or that question includes o dili. So whether I say Odili in the end or not, still, that is understood that that question implies the same thing. Musugot ka ba o dili? So let's continue with more examples. And here we have the question, nakatulog ka ba o wala? Tulog is sleep. So this should be pretty easy. Nakatulog ka ba o wala? Did you sleep or not? Oo, nakatulog ko. Yes, I was able to sleep. Wala ko katulog. No, I wasn't able to sleep. Or no, I didn't sleep. Mukuyog ka ba? Nako. Kuyog is to come or to accompany. So, mukuyog ka ba nako? Nako is me. It's like a pronoun to signify myself. So this translates to, are you coming with me? Are you going with me? And then you answer with, Oo, mukuyog ko nimo. Yes, I am going with you. Or yes, I am coming with you. If you say dili ko mukuyog nimo, no, I am not coming with you. Or no, I am not going with you. So by now, I assume that you have already seen the pattern. So it's pretty basic. Oo or dili. So even if it's not emphasized in the question that you have an option to say no, it is understood that that is a part of the original question. And we have a few more examples. We just want to make sure that this oo or dili really sticks to our memory. Here we have a question which is, did you see the incident? How are we going to express this in Cebuano? Did you see? Um, that means it's a thing in the past. So the action word will probably start with naka. So let's see, how is this expressed in Cebuano? See is kita, kita or kita. So to express did you see, that would be nakakita ka ba? And then incident is translated to nahitabo. Hitabo is something that happened or it's an event. And sometimes you can also express this as panghitabo. So if you say oo, nakakita ako. Yes, I saw. That's the exact translation. Yes, I saw. But then it is understood that what you're answering or what you're referring to your answer is the original question, which includes the word nahitabo, something that happened. So even if you don't say, oo, nakakita ko sa nahitabo, it's understood that that is, your complete answer. So in this case, you just kind of shorten your answer. But if you also say, oo, nakakita ko sa nahitabo, That is the complete answer, and probably is a clearer answer. But nevertheless, even if you just say, oo, nakakita ako, you're still completely answering the question. And then, um, if you say, wala ko kakita, that simply means, no, I didn't see it, or no, I wasn't able to see it, or no, I wasn't really there when it happened. So, for the most part, we were just sticking to the literal translation of the phrases. But now, I'm letting you know that it could be expressed in what the context of the answer really entails. So when you say wala ko kakita, it simply means, no, I wasn't a witness to the event, or no, I wasn't there when it happened. Nagsulti ka ba sa tinuod? Again, this signifies that, the thing already happened in the past. Sulti is, tell or say. So this would translate to, if you're familiar with the word tinuod, tinuod is true when translated. So this simply translates to the phrase, are you telling the truth? Or if you want to ask the question, are you telling the truth? Then you can express it in Cebuano by asking, nagsulti ka ba sa tinuod? Um, for the conversational Cebuano, uh, like what I've said earlier, we tend to shorten the words because we already know, the meaning behind it. So if I say, tinuod ba? Tinuod ba ni? Tinuod ba ni imong gisulti? That's another way of expressing this question. Are you telling the truth? In Cebuano. So, but this one right here, this is the very literal um, expression of the phrase, are you telling the truth? Nagsulti ka ba sa tinuod? If you're speaking in Cebuano or in Visayan dialect. Oo, tinuod ang akong gisulti. Yes, tinuod is true. Ang akong gisulti. Whatever I said. So yes, whatever I said is true. Yes, I am telling the truth. Dili tinuod ang akong gisulti. Dili tinuod, not true, ang akong gisulti. What I said. So this translates to no, what I'm telling is not true. I think there will be a few examples that you can look up online, or probably just, if I think the most effective way of really checking your understanding is if you attempt to understand publications or articles that are written in Cebuano, and just try to decode. And for as long as you understand the basics of how to express yes or no and what forms they take in conversational Cebuano and Visayan dialect, then you should be good. This should be pretty easy for you to grasp at. So I thought we'd be done by now, but I still have a few examples for us. The question, are